This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 18. And it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shathir from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And the big thing on the news today is this technological mishap. Now, some are saying that it could have been a hack or a cyber attack, and then some people are just saying this is what happens when you do a system upgrade. Things like this happen. But I say either way it goes, look how much it has disrupted the everyday life of the American citizen. Okay. And I'm just going to play this video real quick of these people that are in the airport. And this woman that you see here in the front is explaining how much this technical glitch has cost her just to get her family on the plane, how much she's being reimbursed, and pretty much what it costs. Excuse me. To, I guess, get her family back home or on some type of vacation. So we'll let this play and we'll get some more scripture.
There are 8 people in my party. 8 people, $456 a ticket, and they're giving me $100 back. That is it.
Airlines, hospitals, businesses around the world, banks as well, reeling from a massive tech outage. You can see here just how backed up airports are right now. Look at those crowds.
And we're screwed. This man is getting married. We have reservations. We have cars that we paid for. I paid $380 in a shuttle to shuttle everyone here this morning. They have been here since before me with 3 kids. I've been here since 3 o'clock in the morning. $100 is unacceptable.
CrowdStrike is saying the key issue has been identified. It wasn't terrorism, it wasn't a security incident or a cyber attack, but they've identified and they have isolated this one thing that they have to deal with here, and that's being updated around the world right now.
I'm so upset right now.
So this company that works in conjunction with Microsoft is experiencing this type of problem worldwide. Now, some would say this could be a coincidence that this has happened after, this whole thing with the cell phone companies, how people didn't get any Wi-Fi or reception. Some people might say, well, is this part of the whole year of the poly crisis that the World Economic Forum was talking about? Who knows? Like I said, it could be naturally a system upgrade. It could be a cyber attack. Can't say which one for sure, but what we do know is that this incident has proved how much the system will fall apart. This is a day. This has only happened in a day. 24 hours. Now imagine what's going to happen when this thing or something like this happens and it's on let's say a more indefinite time period. You see how bad them folks are hurting up in Houston. They still ain't got no power, and that's due to a storm. So imagine if there was some type of deliberate attack or upgrade in the system where all these things just shut down. It's going to be total chaos. This is how people are acting in 24 hours. Imagine what's going to happen when this lasts a week, maybe a month, 2 months. You will have a complete societal collapse and outrage. Where to get this again? 2 Ezra 16 and 18. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils, bad times. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Well, the answer to that is very simple. You get right with the Lord. Okay? Let me get one of my favorite scriptures. I've been bringing this out a lot. Psalm 57 and 1. And it says, to the chief musician, Al-Tashith Mishtam of David, when he fled from Saul in the cave, it says, be merciful unto me, O Most High, be merciful unto me, for my soul trusteth in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge until these calamities be overpassed. See, that's what you're going to do when all these evils come. You're going to put your trust in the Lord, because the scripture says, whoever trusted in the Lord and was confounded. That's also in Psalm, I believe. It would help to spell trust right. But that's what the scripture says. Whoever trusted in the Lord and was confounded. Ecclesiasticus 2 and 10. Actually, you know what? Ecclesiasticus 2 and 6. And it says, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear Yahweh, wait for his mercy and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear Yahweh, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear Yahweh, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? It says, for Yahweh is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. And that's what we are going to do when these evils come upon us. We're going to hide in the shadow of the Lord's wings till all these calamities pass by, to all these afflictions, until we get saved out of all of these afflictions. Because what these elites have planned, hey, if you're not right with the Lord, you're going to be overtaken. As the scripture says, where there is no hedge, there the possession is spoiled. And many people are going to choose, as the scripture says, to trust in Egypt. Or let me take that back. Many people are going to do what the scripture tells them not to do. All right, many of these people are going to trust in Egypt when the scripture tells us that we should not trust in Egypt. Many people are going to be looking for government help, and they're not going to get it. The only way that we're going to survive when this thing really hits full throttle, because what happened with Trump, that's nothing. That's just merely opened up the floodgates for any and everything to happen. Okay, and this whole tech outage thing is merely a sign of what's going to happen when something like this is extended for an indefinite period of time. These folks are losing their mind after 24 hours. Like I said, imagine what's going to happen in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. All right, the only people that are going to have some protection are going to be the men of the Lord. Because in Houston, them folks are getting their behinds whooped. They can't get money. Their food is rotten. Their houses are flooded. They don't have anything without the electricity. And you got to think, if somebody's trying to update a grid system, the electricity can go down. Or something like this can happen. Folks can't get their money out the banks. Folks can't travel. Folks won't get their direct deposit. Okay, many things can happen. But regardless, on all these known and unknown variables taking place, the one thing that you can count on is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. As he said, verse 10, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded? Basically, whoever put their trust in the Lord and was let down, nobody. Whether they lived or be put to death, it didn't matter. Anybody that put their trust in the Lord was not let down, not one time. And this is the mentality that we have to have going into these soon to be very crucial and dangerous times. Okay, these folks are clearly showing, whether they know it or not, they are clearly showing on these social media sites that they do not have it within them. They do not have the Spirit of the Lord working within them to sustain themselves when all this hell breaks loose. As the scripture says in Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, we're going to get another Israelite 101 scripture. Isaiah 33:6, and it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of their times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. This is what's going to keep us firmly grounded and rooted when all hell is breaking loose around us. This is what's going to keep us together when these calamities hit. And all this, these folks are getting bombarded with this information, and they won't be able to make sense of it. They won't know what's true, what's not true, what type of relief is going to happen, if there's going to be any relief. Okay, these folks are not going to have it within themselves to keep it together, because the Lord is not dealing with them. All right, the Lord is only dealing with a select few men. As we read in Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter, people, men of the Lord that fear him. Men that know that they cannot get through this situation without the Lord. Things are ramping up. We're at the point where you can't be half stepping, 3/4 stepping, a quarter stepping. Hey, you get on board all the way with the Lord. or just go do your own thing and see if you'll make it. But it would behoove you to get right with the Lord, as the scripture said, make no tarrying. Because just like Noah, when them doors shut, that's it. And these elites, hey man, they are speeding this thing up, as it says in Revelation. I believe it's in 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And this is why you see all these events just taking place, one after another, after another, after another. You have no time to rest. You have no time to mentally process what you've been through. As soon as you see one thing and you're trying to piece the things together, there's something else happening. There's something else happening. It's coming back to back to back to back so frequently and so fierce in its magnitude that, like we just read in Isaiah 33:6, if you don't have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Lord dealing with you, it's going to be a rough road. But that's all I wanted to say on this. Give my little 2 cents on it. Nonetheless, I hope you all were edified. Till the next time, we're going to say shalom.